It is a Wednesday. We've got a pretty nice day today. It's going to be hot. I mean, if you don't like heat, we're going to get it. The heat advisory has been extended into Thursday. I think it could go into Friday as well, but there will be some cooling starting on Thursday, but incremental, slight cooling, and that's the story. This heat wave is not going to get broken by the big flush of marine air that typically comes in and saves us. It's going to be this slow trickling down of temperatures. Fog will come back. Maybe Friday night, maybe Saturday morning, but there'll be a sea breeze that slowly clicks on that's available without the fog. So it's extended the heat wave or the heat advisory and the heat warning. We've got air quality alerts that will probably be extended through Thursday and Friday. We've got fire danger that's elevated, but fortunately we're not seeing this increased fire winds in the computer models. None of the models are suggesting a big wind, which is really fortunate for this type of pattern. This morning. This is, I'll show it to you. This is the camera up at Mount Tamalpais, and this is looking south, and you can see the ships or the fleet, the fishing fleet coming in and going out late at night. That's what those little lights are. You see the sun come up. Beautiful place that we live in, and it looks like fall, and it's acting like fall. And I'm okay with it. As long as there's no big winds, we're good. Okay, so here's the Wednesday forecast. It is, you knew that. You don't need me to tell you it's going to be hot. Wasn't that Bob Dylan? You don't need a weatherman to know which way they went. Right. So it is going to be hot. Temperatures are going to continue to warm today into the buck 5, maybe 107. The models are really funny on this. And one of the reasons why, and as you look at this map, I'll make this quick, but I want you to try to grasp this. When air rises, or when you're in climbing up a mountain, it starts off warmer at the base, typically, and as you go higher, it gets cooler. That's because there's less pressure, and as you go higher, and the air expands and it cools. When you walk down the hill, it gets warmer. The air compresses. Well, in this case, the high pressure is the top of the hill, the upper level high, because this is upper level pressure stuff. The air is sinking. It's walking downhill, and it walks downhill, it warms. So if it starts up here at a high temperature, like say 60 degrees, by the time it drops 2,000 feet, it's going to be at 70 degrees. It warms, right? So temperatures warm about 5 degrees per 1,000 feet of sink. Temperatures cool, on average, about 3 degrees. The reason they warm is because little atoms, they vibrate like this, and when they're far apart, they can't hit each other and generate heat. But when they get compressed, they're continually vibrating, right? And so when they get compressed like that, they generate heat, and that's why it warms more rapidly, typically when the air sinks than when it rises, or because when it rises it cools, but it cools at 3 degrees. I know it's a lot. Okay, so that's today. These are the forecast numbers for today. 104 in Santa Rosa, 99 in Napa. That San Francisco number, that's rough, man. Almost 90. It will be 90 degrees. Noe Valley, you'll be 90 degrees today. 105 in Concord. Everybody's on track to make these numbers happen today. Temperatures tomorrow will be slightly cooler, like I said, but still, I'm calling it hot, right? I mean, slightly cooler. So instead of 106, it's going to be 102 in the hot spots. That's on Thursday. On Friday, instead of 102, it'll be 99, 98 in the hot spots. Bay and coast sections will cool more aggressively as we get into Friday and Saturday. So here is the 5-day forecast, which you know what to look for. Temperatures kind of staying hot. Then they start they descend here, but they really show up here. And when I say really show up, look at that, it's 98 degrees. That's Livermore, that's Concord, which is gonna seem nice, actually. You're gonna be like, oh, it's pleasant, 98 degrees. And then it slowly, especially around the coast and bay, temperatures come down. So Friday for San Francisco, for Oakland, Saturday and Sunday, these temperatures are dropping off pretty rapidly. So the 5-day forecast represents a definite cooling. We have a beautiful shot here. This is the shot I showed you of the fishing boats going in and out. This is live. Well, now it depends where you are. I mean, this is live at 10 o'clock this morning or 10:30. What do you see? You see some haze. A little bit of this haze comes from when it's really hot like this. You'll see it on the bay too. The water is cold. It's like 58 degrees, but you'll get enough heat coming down, enough differential that you'll start to evaporate from the sea surface, and the water evaporates, but the salt in the water, there's like a little salt particulate that lingers. And so you'll get, and especially this afternoon, you'll see it on the bay when there's no wind. You'll see these hazy conditions. And sometimes the salt haze can really be really pronounced. This is another shot, obviously showing you the Golden Gate Bridge is right here. This is Raccoon Strait right here. That's Raccoon Strait, which is Tiburon over here, and that's Angel Island. But also you can see out towards the coastal, out towards the Napa Valley, and you see a little bit of haze. And by the end of the day, that haze will be much more pronounced. At the beach, it's another beautiful day. Tide is high. Swell is there. Let's see if this guy gets away. That's a set right there. Let's see. Right there he goes. There he goes. See, it's a little mushy because the tide's pretty high. And it's when it starts to drop out, what we're gonna see is the tide creating more rip currents as the tide goes out, as the water comes out through the Golden Gate Bridge. This is Lindemar and Pacifica. This is cool. Boathouse here, Keating's, I don't know if Keating still lives out there, I bet he does. But Keating, very famous family in San Francisco history, goes all the way back to Pan-Pacific Exposition and the World's Fair on Treasure Island. The Keatings were big swimmers, and swimming back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s was huge. It was just huge, like racing or what do you call it? Water aerobic, not water aerobics, synchronized swimming. But anyway, Keatings are a huge name in the swimming world and the surfing world. Anyway, so Keating lives here. This is the road that used to go around the point. See, it looks like a road cut. It is a road cut. It was a road cut. It had big slides here. I remember the first time it slid in 82. And so this was a road that people would take around the corner here. There's a cove in here. And if you walk that trail, you're going to be really awesomely surprised. You go in there, and there's homes. People live in there. And they hide. There's a staircase that goes up and over the hill. That's one way. Or they can go around this way. And every once in a while, you'll see somebody. We used to see people with grocery bags walking in. They said they would go buy their groceries. But the houses, it's about one of the coolest little spots you'll ever see. Right out at Pedro Point there. I'm hoping I'm not giving away a secret. I think there's kind of like they're hiding in there. But there's a bunch of homes. I mean, there's more than like 10. There's a lot of homes in there, and they're super isolated. So here is Stetson Beach. I was wrong yesterday. That's somebody just posting up their land. This is where I want to be. But I think today is one of those days you're not going to see too many people at the beach because I think it's actually might even be too hot for Stetson Beach. Okay, air quality. It is a spare the air day yet again. This is purple air picking up, this one picks up smoke, and I think it does pick up ground level ozone as well. And this is showing air quality that's less than great. So if you are elderly or super impacted by respiratory things like asthma, it can be upsetting and not helpful. One thing is helpful is we're not seeing a lot of fires, right? The big fire burn is out here in Nevada. This is watchduty.org, and you can see, certainly, first of all, you can see all the heat advisories and watches along the coast here. It's hot all the way down to the southwest, but you can also see that we've got no really big fires or fires burning. These fires are all, with the gray around them, are all being grayed out, so that's pretty great. Any fires that have been starting, they've been crushing quickly because there's no wind, and we're not anticipating wind. So here's the fog down here. Here is the lack of smoke in the Central Valley, and you can see that. Isn't that awesome? And by the way, see where my cursor is? That's the Bay Area, right? That's the Delta. We'll talk about this sometime, but see how the valley looks like a bathtub, right? It's a bowl. Well, at one time, Tulare Lake was a lake that was the largest lake west of the Mississippi, and it ran from Bakersfield all the way up to Sacramento, essentially. You could take, during some of those winters in the 1800s, there's documentation of people taking boats from Bakersfield all the way to Sacramento and into San Francisco. A boat from Bakersfield, because there was so much water. Those times have changed. Okay, so this is, let me back this up. Isn't that awesome? This is the vorticity map, 500 millibar. And what we're looking for now, see the counterclockwise spin, like see that guy right there? Counterclockwise spin. That's what you're looking for. That's going to break a heat wave. And so everything going over the top of us is going over the top of us, and that's why it's so warm. So what I'll do is can you see us right here? It's hard, I know this. I wish I got to come up with a better way to do this, but there's California right there, okay? And I'm going to roll this model forward, and you see the bump up over California, but then see this thing cutting in offshore. So this is Thursday. Here comes Friday, right there, Thursday night and Friday. So this is going to break the heat wave, and it's not going to be a huge event, but it's going to trigger more of an onshore flow. Remember when I talked about compression and heating of atoms? Well, that little trough, the air is rising. So there's less compression, right? So there's a lot less because the air is expanding as it rises. In these areas of reds and yellows, there's vertical wind shear. And so you've got air rising. And so when you see those oranges and yellows, that's essentially, let's just call it instability. So this is your Friday cool down. Then we get some more, it looks like a little bit of instability in here again. And then on somewhere around the second week of October, that looks like potential rain. Now look at the one behind it. See that guy? That's awesome. That is a big cutoff. See how active the Pacific's getting out in ooh, look at that. What day is that? That is on October 17th. So, I mean, it's fantasy land. I know, but it's also awesome in that maybe it happens and we get some rain early and we can quit talking about fire. Okay, that's 11 minutes. Sorry it takes so long, but I just, get excited. I love looking at live pictures. And by the way, this is what I do every morning. I'm just bringing you along because it's fun. And plus it wakes me up. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself. Or maybe I am talking to myself. Ooh, that's weird. Never thought about that. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.